Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Let's get right to this What If. After Darkseid's attack, the heroes from America began helping rebuilding Hosu City, slowly at first, but with all the wealth and technology Batman has at his fingertips, the process was accelerated greatly. A week has passed as things in Japan are slowly returning to normal. Many people lost their lives during the failed invasion, as you see Izuku laying in bed in the middle of a garden, while Poison Ivy is sitting on the chair right next to him, reading a book. She hasn't left his side while Harley Quinn is getting everything set up at her apartment that she shares with Poison Ivy, trying to get Izuku's room situated. This past week, Harley Quinn was extremely in a good mood. While Izuku's still in a deep slumber, there is a girl in Japan with white hair, red eyes, with one horn on the side of her forehead, going through some brutal torture. The girl is unaware of her importance in the galaxy. She has no idea she is a manifestation of the anti-life equation that Darkseid's been seeking. She believes her power is the quirk. In truth, her power is far more complicated than a simple quirk. But her fate is still uncertain. Izuku is unaware they're fated they're fated to be connected by fate. It is unclear if it's a good thing or a bad thing. Only time will tell. Their destiny has been weaved long before he was born. Will Izuku protect the young girl, or use sorry, or end the girl personally because of the threat she poses? The, the future is still unclear. As Izuku finally opened his eyes, Ivy noticed he finally got up, as she got a bottle of water from the supplies that Harley left. As she tilted his head up to allow him to drink, she placed the jug of water, well, the little jug of water, against his lips and tilted his head for for him to drink the liquid. Easy. Your body is still adjusting to whatever happened to your body. I'm still unclear what they did to you. Where am I? You're safe. You are finally free from your mind control. Where is that bastard? Both of them. I'm gonna kill them. The Joker is no longer on Earth. He's with Darkseid now. You probably won't be seeing him anytime soon. I know you're angry. You have every right to be. But please calm down. You're still very unwell. Like I like I said, your body is adjusting to whatever happened to you. Just lay back down. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Poison Ivy. What's your name? Izuku Midoriya. It's a pleasure to meet you, Izuku. We can talk later. You just need to recover. Thank you, Ivy. You're welcome. You rescued us, so it's only natural that I return the favor. You might have been under mind control at the time. You might have broke free for a couple seconds when you freed us from Penguin. Do you remember anything during your time you were under mind control? I remember everything they made me do. As he tightened his fist, they will pay. But you're right. I should calm myself. Getting theories won't help me right now. They'll get what's coming to them. I'll make sure of that. But my main priority should be recovery. So do you know what happened to you? I don't totally understand what they did to your body. It seems different than a normal human. I was modified in Japan. Don't know what exactly how they modify me. That crazy doctor boot me under when they did their work on my body. Apparently he's affiliated with some group of villains that call themselves the League of Villains. Outside of that, I don't know. I really don't know what they did to my body. Like I said, I wasn't awake during the process. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out later. Harley's still, or yeah, sorry, Harley's in the city right now, getting everything ready. She should be coming back soon. I do appreciate your help, but why you're being so nice to me? What's your game? And she simply smiled at Izuku. I wanted to get to know you a little better. We can wait uh until you get back your strength. Don't worry, I have no ulterior motives. We might have snooped around your apartment a little bit. We were trying to track down your location, so I do apologize for that. We wanted to see what type of person you were. I don't I don't hold it against you. We're good. I take it you read my journals. I did. So did Harley. I take it you're talking about the blonde pigtail girl. Sorry. I take it you're talking about the blonde woman. Yes, that is Harley. Hey Red, I'm back. As she dropped the bag she was carrying, seeing Izuku already up, she walked up to Izuku with a smile on her face. Hello, hon. I'm Harley Quinn. It's a pleasure to meet you. Care to give me your name? I really don't want to refer you as the green hair guy. Even though Harley Quinn knows his name, she wants to hear it from his lips. So does Poison Ivy. That's why she asked to introduce himself. Name's Izuku Midoriya. It's a pleasure to meet you, sweetheart. Me and Ivy need a talk. We'll check on you in a few moments. As Harley gestured Ivy to follow her. When they got a safe enough distance so they don't get overheard. So, how is he holding up? So far good, outside of he's quite angry about being under mind control. That would be expected. I would feel the same way if I was in his shoes. What about his mental state? He seems to be fine for now, but there's no guarantee in that. There's no guarantee that he's okay. Things are all set up at the apartment now. We just have to find a way to break it to him. I'll handle it. Are you sure, Red? Don't worry about it. Poison Ivy made her way back to Izuku as she sat down on the chair right next to the bed. That's in the middle of the garden. Sorry about that. It's alright. I'm not going to lie to you, Izuku. I know it's not your fault what you did under mind control, but you're going to have to stay with us. What do you mean? You're going to move in with us in our apartment. You might not like to hear this, but because of because of what the Joker did to you and whatever he made you do, there might be some lasting damage to your psyche. So Harley over there is going to help you out with that. She used to be a therapist before the Joker got his clutches on her. So if anyone would understand your situation, it would be her. And it's not really safe for you to be on your own. You made an enemy of Two-Face. I will not allow Black Mask to go anywhere near you. And Batman made it clear, if you did anything drastic, he would take you down. So let's try to avoid that. I think you. Oh, sorry, give me a second, guys. I'll let you think. Sorry, I'll let you think things over. I'm not going to force you, but it's in your best interest. As she walks away from Izuku to talk to Harley again, Harley Quinn, yeah, basically. So how did it go? I didn't hear any yelling, so I take it went well. He's a lot more composed than I thought he would be. I informed him of the situation. Only time will tell. I told him I would give him some time to think it over. We just have to wait and see what he decides. I have no intention of forcing him. Me neither, Red. That's the last thing I want to do to him. How's everything back at the apartment? Everything's all ready. I moved everything that wasn't nailed down from his old place into his new room. Well, that's good. As he spent the whole day thinking on his options, with no job or money, he really doesn't have a place to go. He might be able to go back to his apartment, but it won't be for long if they haven't moved all his things out already. He decided to take their offer. He couldn't really turn it down. He couldn't really turn down to live with two beautiful women, so he decided to accept. The next day, Ivy Harley came to see if he made up his mind. Ivy and Harley accepted. Sorry. Ivy and Harley walked to get his answer. I accept. I really don't have a choice in the matter. I would rather not be on the street. I'm extremely glad to hear that, Izuku. I bet, and we will not want you to do that. I bet Red thinks the same way. I'm glad you accept. Are you sure you're able to move? I won't know until I try. As he tried to get up and walk, as he was about to fall, as Poison Ivy and Harley catch him before he hit the ground. Easy there, handsome. I would hate to see your handsome face get damaged. We'll help you to you. We will help you to your new home. As Poison Ivy and Harley help Izuku to walk to the car that Harley been using to get back and forth between the apartment and Ivy's garden. After a few hours, they finally got to the apartment and got him into his new room. He was quite surprised to see all his things that was important to him in his room. I figured you want some of your stuff here before they start throwing stuff out. Thank you. I appreciate it. No problem, handsome. We'll let you get situated. I'll let you know when the food's ready. I bet you're quite hungry. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty good cook. As Harley leaves Izuku's room to prepare lunch for Izuku, Izuku sat on his bed, trying to gather his thoughts until lunch was finally served. As he sat down and ate with the two beautiful women that he's be sharing a apartment with, Harley and Ivy showed him around the apartment after lunch. Sometime later that night, he had dinner with both of them. As he turned in for the night, Izuku started to get Izuku started to get flashbacks in form of nightmares of his actions that took place on the cruise ship. As he starts having night terrors, as Harley heard noise from his room as she went to make sure he was alright. As she saw Izuku, his hands over his head, saying the same line over again. I killed him. I didn't want to. I killed him. I'm a monster. As he repeated that line over and over again, as she was quite concerned about his mental well-being, as she gently got into bed and gently moved his head against her chest, as she gently lay down with him, calming him down as she stroking his back, as she comforted him the best she could. It's alright, Izuku. Sorry, give me a second, guys. It's alright, Izuku. Everything will be fine. Let's sleep. I'm here. The first 2 weeks the first 2 weeks was rough for Izuku, getting night terrors from the massacre he did on the cruise ship. That did affect him quite a bit. At first, he was skeptical about taking therapy sessions with Harley, but he was skeptical about the same session with Harley. But she convinced him that it would help him. It would help him. Convinced him that it. Sorry, as she helped. Sorry again. She convinced him that it would help him to get over his trauma. She convinced him it would help him in the long run. As he started taking therapy sessions with Harley Quinn, as she would always sleep with him in his bed to comfort him. She's been quite kind to him from day one. They never did. They never did anything while they're sleeping. Harley Quinn didn't want to take advantage of Izuku. She made it quite obvious that she's attracted to him. She would always flirt with him when they weren't in a therapy session. And when it came to Poison Ivy, they got closer over the weeks. She's a lot more subtle when it comes to her feelings towards Izuku than Harley Quinn. Harley knew Ivy was quite attracted to him, but she didn't make it too obvious that she knew. Despite his therapy session, the subject of what he wants to do for his future came up. He graduated from high school when he was 14. He skipped several years because of his intelligence when he was younger. He wanted to be a hero, but because of he wanted to be a hero. He looked up to Superman when he was basically younger. But because of his situation, he had to drop a childish dream like that. He didn't think it was feasible. He had to do a he had sorry Izuku has done a lot of things, and he's not shy around killing someone that truly deserve it, or if there were a lost cause. He does genuinely care about people. He just had to bury that side of him to in order to survive in Gotham City. Izuku's laying on the bed in the midst of one of his therapy sessions with Harley. We've been talking about the future for quite a bit, Izuku. I know deep down you still blame yourself for what happened on the cruise ship. You told me quite a bit what happened during our sessions with each other. Regardless I was under mind control, that doesn't change the fact that I killed a lot of people. And it makes me sick. That bastard made me kill children. I don't know where to go from here. I think it's time we cut our session short. I think we need to take a breather. As she laid back right next to him on his bed. What are you doing, Quinn? Getting comfortable. Listen, as she placed her hand as she placed her hands or as she placed both of her hands around both sides of his face to make sure they're making eye contact while they're laying down. You need to forgive yourself. It wasn't your fault. Maybe a change of scenery would do you some good. What do you mean? Maybe leaving Gotham will will help you heal more smoothly. So what, you want me to move out or something? Of course not. I'll be coming with you. I'm quite fond of you. You're stuck with me, Izuku-kun. I'll talk with Ivy tomorrow, and we'll come up with a plan. And I highly doubt Ivy will. Sorry, I highly doubt Ivy would want to be separated away from you. Despite her attitude, she's quite fond of you too. She doesn't show it too often, but she does care. We haven't known you for very long, but we have a spot for you. And you've been a good friend so far. Who knows, maybe in the future we could be more than that. We'll discuss that when we cross that bridge. For now, let's get some sleep. As she wraps Izuku's arms around her, as she falls asleep with a genuine smile on her face, she made a habit of sleeping in the same bed with Izuku. The next morning, Harley got up out of bed and quietly got up so make sure she doesn't wake up Izuku. She made her way to the kitchen. She saw Ivy doing her daily routine that she does every morning. Morning, Red. Morning. It seems like you slept well, especially how you haven't been sleeping in your own room recently. Jealous? Me jealous? Not, not likely. Yeah, you're jealous. As she pours some coffee for herself, as Ivy rolls her eyes at Harley's comment, she won't admit it to herself, but she's a little bit jealous how affectionate Izuku's towards Harley. Deep down, she wants more uh of his sorry. She wants more of his attention. She choose to ignore her feelings towards Izuku. So, how's been his sessions? We hit a little fork in the road. I think it's best that he gets out of Gotham for a while. What do you think? Of course, I have no intention of letting him go by himself. If you're going, then I'm going. And before you ask, I'm not jealous. Whatever helps you sleep at night, Red. So, what do you suggest we do? I'm thinking about going to Japan. What do you think? Maybe being in Japan will do him some good. I think it would be a good place for him to heal. That's actually a good idea. There's a lot of nature in that country. Very well. I'm up for it. Good. I'll make a couple phone calls and get everything situated. I believe I'll call in my favor that the bats owes me. Poison Ivy and Harley noticed Izuku walking into the kitchen. Ivy wrapped her arms around Izuku's. I need I need some help. Will you be a dear and spend the day with me? As Poison Ivy sticks her tongue out at Harley, as she drags Izuku out of the apartment and go to several stores to pick up some supplies for her little garden she made behind the apartment complex. Surprisingly, no one lives in the apartment complex outside of Poison Ivy and Harley. They own the whole building. There's no other occupants in the whole apartment complex. Ivy was trying to make Harley upset a little bit, but in truth, she only managed to slightly annoy her. But Red's her best friend, so she wasn't too upset about it. She thought it was quite adorable that she was trying to make her jealous for taking Izuku for the whole day. She didn't mind. She had no problem sharing him with Ivy. As she made contact with Batman to make plans to set up a place to live in Japan. After all, Batman did owe her a favor, officially making them even. After Harley Quinn saved Batman from a plot to kill him several years ago. After a long conversation with Batman, they finally agreed. She's fully aware Batman is actually Bruce Wayne, but Batman doesn't know that. She kept that to herself. She's fully aware how much money he has access to. Getting a home in Japan would be an easy task for him, especially how he just recently opened a Wayne Tech technology building in Japan to help with hero gear for UA. Principal Nezu and Bruce formed a friendship ever since the failed invasion by Darkseid. Meanwhile, Harley is talking to Batman. Izuku is carrying all the supplies to the garden back of the apartment complex, helping Ivy plant several plants. Can I ask you something? Of course, Izuku. Go right. Oh, sorry. Of course, Izuku. Go right ahead. Considering you have so much control over plants, can you just use your abilities to do this? I can, but I like to garden the old-fashioned way. I don't use my powers for everything. I don't like to abuse the green. Kind of like how you don't abuse your tech, like how you don't abuse your telekinesis power. You do have a point. Sorry about that. I was just curious. No, it's quite all right. Thank you for helping me, though. You're welcome. I find this sort of activity relaxing. I saw your garden at your old place. Oh, sorry. I saw your garden at your old place that you still live in. Quite impressive setup you got there. I kind of always had. Sorry. I kind of always took a liking to nature when I was younger. When I got older, my fondness for nature deepened. I might not have awesome plant powers myself, but I always found nature quite relaxing. It puts me at peace. I know the feeling, Izuku. Izuku saw a brief smile. Izuku saw a brief smile on Ivy's face when she got up to turn around to pick up the small shovel so she can dig a small hole to place several flowers that she bought from the gardening store. I've noticed you and Harley've been spending a lot of time together. She's been very kind to me. I'm thankful for her companionship, and I feel the same way with you, Ivy. Can you help me with this? Izuku walked over towards Poison Ivy and helped her place several plants in the ground as their hands briefly touched each other. Poison Ivy's hair was covering her face. Her face is a little bit red from the brief contact, so Izuku was unaware of her facial expressions. As she got up and dusted dirt from her clothes, as she helped Izuku up, we should probably get inside. It looks like it's going to rain. And before they go walk inside, she stopped Izuku. Thank you for helping me. Oh, sorry, thank you for helping me. You're a sweetheart. As she kissed Izuku on the cheek, as she begins to walk back inside, leaving Izuku confused as she walks away with a smile on her face. Sorry. As Izuku nervously scratched the back of his head, trying to figure out what just happened. As he finally made his way back inside, before he decided that he wanted to get inside before it started to rain heavily, more heavy, as it's sprinkling now. A month has passed, as Izuku and Harley and Poison Ivy began packing things to go to Japan, as they already have a house that was set up for them, that Batman had provided for the three of them. He's a bit excited to go back to Japan. His first time there was under mind control, so he really didn't have the time to explore the city. He's going to make sure to make time. There's a lot of things he took for granted. It only took him from being under mind control to realize that he needs to make some changes in his life. Even though a month has passed, he's still afraid he might lose control of his abilities and start killing people. He's nowhere near got over what happened on the cruise ship. He might not ever get over it, but Harley Quinn's been help him get through it. But he's still terrified. But he's still terrified at the thought. He still gets nightmares every night. Outside of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, he doesn't really want to get close to anyone else. In the short time, he's came to care about those two. They've been nothing but patient and kind towards him, even though he knows they don't have to be. But unknowns to Izuku, Poison Ivy, and Harley, with the help of Batman, to fulfill one of yeah. Let's try this again. But unknowns to Izuku, Poison Ivy, and Harley, with the help of Batman. Totally read that wrong, sorry. But let's try this again. Sorry, guys. I messed that up for some reason. But unknowns to Izuku, Ivy and Harley was helping fulfill one of his dreams that he gave up on, with the help of Batman, to make his old childhood dream to in a reality, to make it make it feasible. After he had to give it up because living in Gotham City, he had to sacrifice some dreams to survive. By moving to Japan, they're hoping he can truly start recover from the torture that Joker put him through, and to start to forgive himself for the actions he had no control over. After a very long flight from Gotham City to Japan, they finally made their way to their new home, only to be greeted by a small white rodent with a suit waiting for them, with a smile on his face. Greetings, Mr. Midoriya. I'm Principal Nezu from UA. I'm Principal Nezu from UA, from from the most prestige hero academy. I'd like to officially welcome you to Japan. I am good friends with the Batman, with with the hero that goes by the name of Batman. He has told me of your situation. I would like for you to join the I would like for you to join the my academy. When we start the new year. I see great potential in your abilities. You don't have to answer right away. Here's all the documents that you need to sign up for UA. I know you have some fears about your abilities and what happened to you. It's truly unfortunate that you went through such a horrible ordeal. But maybe becoming a pro hero will give you the necessary closure that you need. Thank you, Principal Nezu. I will put some serious thought on your offer. Take your time. The UA entrance exam won't start until the end of the year. After the end of the year, you have 6 months to prepare. Give you plenty of time to think things over. Hope to see you in UA. As Nezu bows at Izuku as he gets into the limousine and has the driver drive off back to UA. I take it you had something to do with this? As he turns his attention towards Ivy and Harley. Harley Quinn is fiddling with her fingers. Maybe. You mad? Thank you. Skip ahead a little bit. Harley was quite surprised when Izuku gave her a hug. Thank you, Harley. I take it you had a hand in this as well, Ivy? I did, Izuku. As he gave her a hug as well. Thank you, you two. I never thought my old dream would revive in such a way. I do appreciate you looking out for me. Me and Harley are in agreement in this. We just want to see you happy. That's all. And I know the process of recovery is going to be a long road. But I'll be there every step of the way. The moment they entered the house, they saw all the boxes that they had transport from Gotham. As Izuku helped the two girls unpack everything, as it took the whole day to get the house all situated, as they as Harley ordered some pizza, whatever money she had left over. Surprisingly, they don't have to worry about bills for the house being paid by Wayne Tech, as Poison Ivy started to work is good. Sorry, as Poison Ivy is going to start working at Wayne Tech Research Center. She'll be starting her new job in the next and the next on the in the next day, basically. While while Harley started up her old career as a therapist for core counseling, so Izuku can concentrate on UA University when he finally gets accepted. Izuku was surprised when he woke up in the middle of the night with Harley on his left and Ivy to his right, sleeping peacefully. He's used to Harley sneaking into his room, but Ivy, this is the first time she'd done something like this. So he decided to go back to sleep. As he woke up the next morning with both women snuggling against him, he might be new having friends, but he knows friends don't normally do this sort of thing. But he doesn't want to bring up the subject because he has no idea to how to go about it. As he woke up the next morning to a note on the dresser explaining that they had to go to work for their first day. So Izuku decided to spend the day exploring the city. As he put on his leather jacket, unlocked the front door and locked it as he made his way down the street. As he heard loud explosions a couple blocks from the shopping district, as he decided to check it out, walking through the crowd, some sort of sludge monster was attacking a very angry blonde. As none of the local hero, as none of the local heroes are doing anything, it started to truly piss them off that the heroes are just watching the blonde guy being attacked and eventually going to be killed. If the heroes don't do anything, Izuku. Sorry, give me a sec. I butchered that. As no one's doing anything, it truly piss Izuku off that the heroes are just simply watching a blonde being attacked and eventually going to be killed if the heroes don't do anything. Izuku had enough. He simply shoved several heroes out of the way with his telekinesis, just to get them out of the way, not to outright attack them. Out of my way, you fakes. To think you call yourself heroes. Disgusting. You don't even deserve the title. After yelling at him to get back, after yelling at him to get back as they're telling him he's going to die, he simply flicked them off with his middle finger and walked up to the sludge villain. Hey, hideous, drop him. What do we got here? We got ourselves a little hero. I already got a meat puppet. Get out of here before I kill you, kid. I wasn't asking. I was giving you ultimatum. You release him, or things won't end well for you, ugly. The sludge villain the grabs one of the stop signs with one of his sludge tendrils and threw it at Izuku. The stop sign stopped in midair, hovering in the sky, as he redirects the stop sign and hits the sludge villain in the eye, as the sludge villain starts to scream out in pain. As he rushed forward and yanked the blonde with his telekinesis as he moved him towards the heroes, gently, as he slams his fist into the sludge villain, as the sludge villain gets scattered everywhere. As Izuku noticed the sludge villain reforming itself, each time he reformed himself, he would blast the sludge villain with his telekinesis as he repeated this motion several times until he heard someone announce himself. As all the crowd goes wild for All Might arrival. Don't fear, I am here. Detroit Smash. As he struck the sludge villain as the weather change from his attack. You've done well, young man, to keep him busy. Couldn't help to be impressed to see someone such a young age, to take the initiative, try to rescue someone. You truly have a heart of a hero. Couldn't help but act, even though he ran out of time, even though he's long past his time limit for today. He was inspired by the kid's initiative. All might wanted to talk to the young man further, but he was interrupted by the re- reporters. As that broke him from his train of thought, as he turned around to speak to the reporters and do his daily activity with the press, he finally turned to speak to the boy. After talking to the reporters, he saw the boy walk away with several heroes trying to stop him, to lecture him about using his quirk in public. As he shoulder checked one of the heroes, "Don't make me laugh. You can't bust me for anything. I don't even have a quirk, you pretenders." As he walks, sorry, as he walks away with his hands in his jacket pocket, on his way home, he was stopped by All Might in his skeleton form. "There you are. You move pretty fast. It took me a while. I'm not as young as I used to be." "And you are? Can we speak privately?" "Okay, I'll bite, but I'm warning you. If you try anything, it won't end well for you." "Don't worry, I don't want to cause you any harm. I just want to talk to you about I just want to talk about a few things. It's not really a good idea to talk out in the public like this. Someone might overhear us." "Well, whatever, just follow me. My house is not that far away." As he finally made it back to his house, and as he as he let skeleton form All Might come in, "Would you like something to drink?" I would appreciate a glass of water, if you don't mind. If it's too much trouble." After getting a glass of water, All Might sat on the couch across from Izuku. What do you want to discuss, sir?" "First off, my name is Toshinori. What is yours?" "Name's Izuku Midoriya." As Izuku watches the skeleton form morph into All Might, "Oh, I'll be damned. I did not expect that. So what can I do for you, All Might?" "You're taking this very well. I was expecting to see a shocked face or call me a imposter. I've seen many things back in Gotham, so a simple transformation is not out of the ordinary for me. I want to officially thank you for helping that young man. You see, I was trying to capture the sludge villain. He escaped from a local police station, and I ran out of time, unfortunately." "What do you mean you ran out of time, All Might? I don't understand." You see, as he lifted up his shirt to show the injury he has on his side, "I got this fighting one of my greatest foes. Long story short, since I got this injury, my time as a hero has been cut short drastically. My body can no longer handle the power of my quirk. I'm not getting any younger. It's only a matter of time before I have to pass the torch. But your action today made me realize I need to pass my limitations. You remind me what it was to what it was to to be a true hero, to push past my fears of unable to do my job. You remind me of my you remind me of my when I was younger. So rough around the edges, but I can see a resemblance, not in looks, despite in behavior alone. You made me realize my main concern should be saving people, not worrying about if my body can handle my quirk or not. I want to offer you something. I want you to be my successor. You see, I'm able to transfer my quirk to someone who I find worthy. My quirk is called One for All. Personally don't know much about quirks or how they work. Is that normal? No, sorry. No, One for All is a special quirk. What do you mean you don't have a quirk? But I clearly saw use abilities. No, my telekinesis comes from something entirely. I've heard people refer me as a esper. I really don't know what a esper is. I try to do some research on the subject, but I can never find anything. I do appreciate the offer, but I don't think I'm worthy of inheriting your power. I know for a fact I'm not worthy of such a honor. What do you mean? Judging by your facial expression, there's more to it. Why don't you find yourself worthy? I suppose I should tell you. As a pro hero, you would understand. You seem to take your job a lot more serious than those fakers. One day when I was walking home from work, I was kidnapped and placed under mind control on the back of my neck. They used me to kill a lot of people. Even if I was under mind control, I'm still at fault. I've killed I've I've killed long before I was placed under mind control. I came to Japan to somehow redeem myself. Even though I'm full even though I know even though I was fully aware I wasn't controlling my own body, but I'm still to blame for it. There's a small part of me that wants to kill every villain I come across. I have so much anger in me, but I'm working through it. I do appreciate your honesty, young Midoriya. I know it couldn't be easy to reveal such personal information, but I won't criticize you on your actions. As a pro hero, I've had to kill my fair share of villains that were far too dangerous to be left alive. Taking life should always be a last resort. I'm fully aware of that. That's why I'm trying to change how I do things. That's why I came to Japan. And to rekindle one of my old dreams I had when I was a kid. Out of curiosity, young Midoriya, do you have any interest in attending UA? With your abilities, you would make an excellent hero. Actually, yes. I filled out the documents and sent them off to Principal Nezu. He came to me personally when I when I arrived at Go- oh, sorry, when I arrived in Japan. Mr. Nezu most likely has more information on my past. He has some sort of connection to Batman. Batman is fully aware of my activities in Gotham City. You you should find someone that truly deserves your power. Speaking honestly, I really don't need it. I might not agree that you don't find yourself worthy, but I respect it. But the offer still stands on but the offer's still on the table. We will be seeing each other sooner than you think, young Midoriya. I'll be teaching at UA, even if you won't take my quirk. When you attend UA, will you do me the favor and keep a lookout for promising candidates? And can you keep the whole my identity secret? It would be a pain to if that got out. Your secret's safe with me, All Might. I suppose could. I suppose I could find someone. I suppose I could talk to you if I find someone that sticks out. I'll let you know. Thank you for speaking with me, young Midori. I must take my leave. As he put his hand on his shoulder, don't blame yourself, young Midoriya. You had no control of your body. You might not want to forgive yourself, but it wasn't your fault. He left shortly afterwards to go to Principal Nazi to get more information on Izuku Midoriya. He could see the look in sorry, he could see the look in his eye. He sees the look of someone who's in pain. The boy caught his interest. Poison Ivy made her way home. She walked through the front door as she saw Izuku pass out on the couch. She sat down and lifted his head up and placed his head on her lap as she gently strokes his hair. After a few moments, Izuku finally got up and noticed his head was laying on Poison Ivy's lap. So I take it you had an eventful day? Yeah, I kinda rescued a guy from being attacked from a villain today, and had a long conversation with a hero that goes by the name of All Might. How's your day? How was your day, Ivy? Busy, but I got everything situated in my new lab. Wayne Tech that was built in Japan. I won't go into any of the boring details in my work, but it's going alright. So are you looking forward to attending this UA university? Yeah, a little bit. I know that look. Don't doubt yourself. These months I got to know you. I realize you're quite a good person. You're just rough around the edges, though. That's all. And I and I and I do understand why you're doing this. I can't help but respect you for that. You have so much power. You could easily go down the path of being a villain, but you chose a different road for yourself. Sadly, when I got my powers, I went about it the wrong way. I was nowhere near bad as the rest of the villains in Gotham City, but I still hurt a lot of people. I just don't want you to go through what I did, and I won't try to pretend I totally understand your situation. It was terrible what you had to go through. You have me and Harley by your side, no matter what, Izuku. I'm going to do something I should have done a long time ago. What do you mean, Ivy? This. When Izuku got out from off of Ivy's lap, as she placed her lips against Izuku, kissing him. By by luck, Harley came in, seeing the scene in front of her. No fair red. As she as as Poison Ivy breaks off the kiss, as she grabs Izuku by the shirt and kisses him on the as she kisses him herself. As she breaks off the kiss, much better. I wasn't expecting you to take the first move. Very bold of you, Ivy. And you can no longer deny you like him anymore, after seeing you lock lips with him. As she begins teasing Ivy. Fine, I surrender, I do like him. Happy now? What's going on? Why did you kiss me? We're very fond of you. Me and Harley are going to have a nice little chat. Why don't you sit there and relax and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Ezekiel always knew Harley liked him, but he had no idea Ivy hold such feelings for him. After several hours waiting patiently in the living room for the two girls to come in, come walking in, sat down right next to him, as Ivy's on his right and Harley's on his left. Before we begin, I want to know how you feel about us, romantically. Don't get me wrong, you two are quite gorgeous, and I have been forming feelings for both of you, but I'm no ladies' man. I've never dealt with this before, and you know that I've always kept to myself, so I don't know where to go from here, or how to even progress this, and I can't really choose one of you over the other. We figured as much, so we came to the we came to the decision. I don't know what else hard to say. If you're willing, We'll share. And you don't need to worry. I do love Harley as well. We've been dating for quite a while now. We both have strong feelings towards you, and we're both highly attracted to you. What do you say? Want to give this a shot? We're both willing to share you. I'm fully on board with this. Izuku. Unless Unlike the last guy I got involved with, I won't mention his name. You treat me with respect and kindness. You're far more better than a man than that bastard ever was. You don't have to answer right away. Why don't you take some time to think this over? Then when you finally have some time to think this over, give us an answer then. Take your time. There's no reason to rush this. I'm a I'm going to get dinner started. As she walks away, as Ivy went upstairs to take a shower, leaving Izuku to let this happen process through his mind to find out that he found it very it took him by surprise that Ivy and Harley are interested in him in a romantic way. Izuku got up and wrote down a brief message and placed the paper on the living room table. As he wrote a brief message telling the two girls that he needs to get some fresh air to clear his mind, to think things through. He doesn't want to rush into anything. He does deeply care for both of them. So he doesn't want to make any rash decisions. As he's walking down the street in the dead of night, as he heard as he has both his hands in his leather jacket, as as he came across a scene as a limousine is upside down, as several masked men drag out a long black-haired girl and threw her in the back of the van and drove off. He was going to ignore it, but his conscience is screaming at him to to intervene. He took flight as he begins to trail the van. As he got to a old warehouse, he's standing on top of a building, gazing down on the warehouse. As that's where we're gonna stop it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.